Unveiling the darkness, the most terrifying cults to ever exist. The human fascination with cults has persisted throughout history, fueled by a morbid curiosity about the depths to which the human mind can be manipulated. These enigmatic organizations have left indelible marks on the fabric of society, inflicting fear, destruction, and tragedy upon their followers and the world at large. In this gripping exposé, we delve into the chilling narratives of the most terrifying cults to ever exist, uncovering the dark secrets that lie beneath their seemingly idyllic facades. 1. The Order of the Crimson Eclipse. In the depths of the early 20th century, the Order of the Crimson Eclipse emerged, shrouded in secrecy and cloaked in mysticism. Led by the enigmatic and charismatic figure known as the Prophet, this cult lured in desperate souls seeking solace from the turmoil of the world. But behind their serene facade lay a macabre reality, as the Prophet's twisted teachings led to mass suicides and ritualistic sacrifices. The shocking revelations of their rituals and the psychological manipulation employed by the Prophet sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to uncover the truth. The Order of the Crimson Eclipse's allure was enhanced by their elaborate ceremonies, which involved blood-soaked altars, eerie chanting, and gruesome displays of devotion. The Prophet, with his piercing gaze and hypnotic voice, controlled the minds of his followers, convincing them that their sacrifice would bring about a new era of enlightenment. As investigators dug deeper into the cult's practices, they uncovered a web of deceit and manipulation, with tales of brainwashing, coercion, and abuse. The cult's demise came when authorities stumbled upon a hidden underground chamber, adorned with decomposing bodies and cryptic symbols. The Order's legacy serves as a chilling reminder of the dangers of blind devotion and the manipulation of vulnerable individuals. 2. Children of the Serpent. Operating under the guise of a self-help organization, the Children of the Serpent preyed upon vulnerable individuals searching for meaning and purpose. Led by a cunning and manipulative leader known as the Serpent, this cult indoctrinated its followers into a web of paranoia and control. The Serpent's perverse belief in the impending apocalypse led to horrifying acts of violence, including forced castrations and ritualistic murders. The chilling accounts of survivors recount the terror they experienced at the hands of this malevolent cult. The Children of the Serpent employed a systematic approach to indoctrination, using mind-altering techniques and psychological manipulation to break down the will of their recruits. The cult's compound, hidden deep within a remote forest, became a breeding ground for darkness and despair. The Serpent's charismatic persona, coupled with his ability to exploit the vulnerabilities of his followers, created a toxic environment in which the boundaries of morality were shattered. The cult's eventual downfall came when a brave survivor managed to escape and expose the horrors that lay hidden within its walls. The chilling testimonies of former members shed light on the systematic abuse and manipulation they endured, serving as a stark reminder of the power of charisma and the depths of human vulnerability. 3. The Temple of Eternal Bliss. The Temple of Eternal Bliss promised its followers a path to spiritual enlightenment, but what they found instead was a descent into darkness. Led by a charismatic figure known as the Enlightened One, this cult enticed its devotees with promises of transcendence and inner peace. However, their practices involved extreme physical and psychological abuse, including forced starvation, sleep deprivation, and even sexual exploitation. The shocking revelations of the temple's inner workings shook the world and exposed the insidious nature of their purported spiritual teachings. Within the walls of the Temple of Eternal Bliss, followers were subjected to a regime of complete submission. The Enlightened One, with his penetrating gaze and soothing voice, manipulated his followers into believing that suffering was the path to enlightenment. The cult's compound, situated in a remote mountainous region, became a prison of the mind, where followers were stripped of their identities and subjected to relentless psychological torment. Former members have shared horrifying stories of being isolated from their families, enduring physical and emotional abuse, and being coerced into performing degrading acts. The cult's demise came when a courageous whistleblower managed to escape and bring the atrocities to light, sparking a global outcry against the insidious practices of the temple. The Temple of Eternal Bliss stands as a haunting reminder of the dark side of spiritual seeking and the dangers of unchecked power. 4. Heaven's Gate. Perhaps one of the most infamous cults in recent history, Heaven's Gate captivated the world with its chilling blend of science fiction and religious beliefs. Led by the enigmatic figure known as the Leader, this cult believed that a spaceship was trailing the Hale-Bopp comet, destined to take their souls to a higher plane of existence. In a shocking turn of events, 39 members of the cult willingly participated in a mass suicide, forever etching their tragic legacy into the annals of cult history. The allure of Heaven's Gate stemmed from its combination of religious fervor and millennialism. The Leader, with his calm demeanor and persuasive rhetoric, convinced his followers that they were on the brink of a celestial journey beyond the confines of Earth. Members of the cult abandoned their possessions, severed ties with their families, and adopted new identities, completely surrendering themselves to the Leader's distorted worldview. In a chilling final act, the cult members donned matching black attire and consumed a lethal concoction of drugs, believing that death was merely a transition to a greater existence. The shocking images of their lifeless bodies, arranged with meticulous precision, shocked the world and raised profound questions about the dangers of blind faith, the power of charismatic leaders, and the vulnerability of those seeking answers in a chaotic world. 5. The Manson Family. No discussion of terrifying cults would be complete without mentioning the Manson family. Led by the notorious Charles Manson, this cult wreaked havoc in the late 1960s, leaving a trail of bloodshed and terror in their wake. Manson, a charismatic and manipulative figure, convinced his followers that he was a messiah-like figure with a divine plan for an impending race war. The Manson family's most infamous act was the brutal murder of actress Sharon Tate and several others, which sent shockwaves through society and forever linked the cult to a reign of terror. The Manson family's manipulation tactics were deeply rooted in psychological control and drug-induced mind-altering experiences. Manson used his charisma to exploit the vulnerabilities of his followers, convincing them to commit heinous acts in the name of his twisted ideology. The cult's followers, primarily young women, became ensnared in Manson's web of manipulation, subjected to physical and psychological abuse, and coerced into committing violent acts. The cult's eventual downfall came when Manson and several of his followers were apprehended and convicted for their crimes. The Manson family's legacy stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked manipulation and the devastating consequences that can arise from blind devotion to a charismatic leader. 6. Aum Shinrikyo. Originating in Japan in the 1980s, Aum Shinrikyo gained notoriety for its deadly acts of terrorism. Led by the charismatic figure Shoko Asahara, the cult blended elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, and New Age beliefs to create a syncretic and apocalyptic ideology. Asahara, claiming to possess supernatural powers, asserted that the world was on the brink of a cataclysmic event and that only Aum Shinrikyo could save humanity. Aum Shinrikyo's most infamous act was the Tokyo subway sarin attack in 1995, where members of the cult released the deadly nerve gas in the Tokyo subway system, resulting in the deaths of 13 people and injuring thousands. The attack shocked the world and exposed the cult's capacity for extreme violence and manipulation. The cult's practices were marked by a systematic process of indoctrination, involving sleep deprivation, sensory deprivation, and mind-altering substances. Members were subjected to intense physical and psychological abuse, including forced labor and severe punishment for disobedience. Asahara's control over his followers was absolute, as he manipulated their fears and promised them salvation. His charismatic influence and skilled manipulation of vulnerable individuals allowed the cult to flourish for years before its eventual dismantlement by authorities. Final words. The stories of these terrifying cults serve as a chilling reminder of the depths to which the human mind can be manipulated. They stand as cautionary tales, shedding light on the importance of critical thinking and vigilance in the face of charismatic leaders and their enticing ideologies. As we delve into the dark recesses of these cults, we are forced to confront the unsettling reality that even in the modern age, the allure of these enigmatic organizations continues to captivate and ensnare the unsuspecting.